Disconnected Frontier, Prompt Evolution, and Linter Demo. I'm just going to do a continuation of the demo I was doing last time, which is the dashboard. But I'm going to shift from the dashboard to the eval process, and how I basically evolved the default prompt that's about 3 years old for this system to something considerably better based on the traces of the last month. What you have here is my dashboard for the Disconnected Frontier. And I can pull my history of conversations and a couple of key things for those of you that haven't seen this yet. I flag engagement. So, a B engagement, an A engagement, a C engagement, and so forth. I indicate how many messages are in the trace. I can indicate the system to do a debrief, which will do an LLM call on that record and kind of summarize what's going on in the conversation. And I can also run some additional analysis, such as narrative path analysis, faction alignment, and so forth, as well as custom analysis on any of these records. And those basically get done on DeepSeek on the back end. So that's all fine and dandy. I have access to all of my traces here. But what I did is I went one step further. I did a data pull from all of these traces of the last month or so of data. And the way I did that is I've got my extractor here. And the way the extractor does is I basically give it a year, a batch size, and it basically pulls the JSON from the back end. And that's the trace. And I can also download that file as a JSONL, which I typically use for the back end. But for visualization, I show it as a JSON because that's obviously easier to read as a human being. So that is the history. So what I've done is I've taken all of that and I've extracted it, and I've created a data set on Hugging Face that allows me to do queries against that data set. So in this particular case, this is all of the information. There wasn't any activity really up until the last month. But you can tell the system's been around since 2023 in a dormant state. But it really got used in the last month as part of this test. So, what I've done is I've got all of the traces in here as well. So, there's the traces, and I've taken an extract from this of just the initial response. So all of the systems start off with a venture into the 80s arcade, and I've captured all of those variations, which gave me, about 150 traces of opening gambits, as I call them, that I was able to then do analysis against.